Have you ever stopped to wonder why so many people feel stuck in a routine that seems to lead nowhere? They chase a paycheck, work tirelessly, yet still feel like something is missing. Maybe you have felt that emptiness too, the sense that even when you do everything right, true prosperity always feels just out of reach. Let me share something with you that perhaps no one has ever told you before. There is a reason for this. The world around us is designed to keep you busy, so busy that you never question the traditional paths laid before you. But what if I told you there is another way? A path reserved for God's chosen ones. A path that does not just promise wealth, but a kind of wealth that transcends the material, one that fills your soul and leaves an eternal legacy. Picture this. In your hands is a map. Not just any map, but one that leads directly to the secrets of true prosperity. These secrets aren't based on complicated strategies or magical formulas, but on something far more powerful, biblical teachings that have transformed countless lives. These truths were revealed centuries ago by none other than Solomon, the wisest and most prosperous man who ever lived. And the best part, these secrets are still accessible to you today. Now you might be thinking, this isn't for me. I don't have the resources, the knowledge, or even the luck. But let me tell you something important. God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. If you feel deep in your heart that you're meant for something greater, then this video is for you. To make sure you do not miss a single detail of this life-changing message, I want to invite you to subscribe to this channel right now. It is not just a click. It is your first step toward discovering what God has prepared for your life. Together, we will uncover the secrets to eternal wealth and learn how to align your life with God's divine purpose. So, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and get ready for a journey that could change your life. Speaking of secrets, do you know the difference between eternal wealth and ordinary wealth? That's the first mystery we'll unravel. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover in the next section could completely transform the way you view prosperity. Let's dive in. 1. Eternal wealth versus temporary riches. What sets them apart? Picture yourself on a beach, building a sandcastle. It is beautiful, intricate, and full of detail, but one big wave is all it takes to wash it away. Now, imagine a fortress made of solid stone, standing strong against wind, rain, and time. These two images represent ordinary wealth and eternal wealth. The first is temporary, fragile, and fleeting. The second is enduring, unshakable, and built to last. But how can we ensure that we are building a wealth that truly lasts and not something that fades away? You have probably heard that true financial security comes from a good job, an expensive car, or a hefty bank account. Does that sound familiar? The truth is, all of that can disappear in an instant, whether due to a financial crisis, a health issue, or life's unpredictable challenges. This kind of wealth is like the sandcastle, impressive on the surface but unable to withstand life's storms. Let me share a story with you. There was a young man named James who dedicated his life to chasing material success. He worked tirelessly, day and night, to buy his dream home and impress those around him. But one day, an unexpected twist changed everything. He lost his job. All his efforts seemed to have been in vain. As he stared at the empty walls of his house, he realized that while he had accumulated possessions, he had not built anything that truly mattered, nothing that could sustain him in hard times. That's when James remembered a verse he had heard as a child. Riches and honor are with me, enduring wealth and righteousness. Proverbs 8:18. He realized that eternal wealth isn't about what money can buy. It's about something much deeper, living in alignment with God's principles and building a solid foundation that no storm can destroy. And here's the amazing part. When you build wealth based on divine values, money becomes just a byproduct. God desires for you to live a full life, one that includes resources to bring peace, security, and purpose. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you feel like you're building sandcastles or an unshakable fortress? Share in the comments how you perceive the difference between these two forms of wealth. Your story could inspire someone who is facing similar challenges. Let's create a powerful conversation together in the comments. So how do you lay the foundation for this eternal wealth? The answer lies in the wisdom of Solomon, which we'll explore next. He left us a legacy of teachings that can transform the way we make decisions and view prosperity. Shall we uncover them together? 2. Solomon's key to true prosperity. If there is anyone who can teach us about wealth and wisdom, it is King Solomon. Renowned as the wisest man in history, Solomon not only amassed unimaginable riches, but also left a spiritual legacy that transcends generations. The secret behind his prosperity was not merely his intelligence or strategies, it was his connection to God and his practical application of divine principles. Solomon discovered a truth that many of us overlook today. True wealth begins with wisdom. When given the opportunity to ask God for anything, he didn't request gold, conquests, or instant success. Instead, he asked for wisdom to govern justly and make sound decisions. This request pleased God so much that he granted Solomon not only wisdom, but also wealth, honor, and peace. This challenges the way many people think about prosperity today. In our modern world, prosperity often seems tied to chasing money at all costs, sacrificing time, health, and even relationships. But Solomon teaches us that when we seek divine wisdom first, everything else follows naturally. He wrote in Proverbs 4:7, "Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. And in all your getting, get understanding." Another fascinating aspect of Solomon's perspective was how he viewed wealth, not as an end goal, but as a means to fulfill a greater purpose. To him, resources were tools to build, to help, and to live in alignment with God's will. Solomon understood that without wisdom, even the greatest riches could vanish. How often do we hear stories of people who achieve immense fortunes only to lose it all due to poor decisions? Solomon knew that wisdom is what sustains prosperity. Think about it this way. Wisdom is like a map that guides your choices. Without it, you might stumble upon temporary riches, but you'll struggle to sustain or truly enjoy what you've gained. The best part? This wisdom isn't reserved for a select few. Solomon describes it as something available to anyone who seeks it. In Proverbs 8:17-18, he reminds us that those who love wisdom will be rewarded with honor and enduring riches. Now that we have uncovered Solomon's first secret, that wisdom is the foundation of all prosperity, an important question arises. How does this wealth connect to money and the way we relate to it? In the next section, we will explore what the Bible really teaches about money and dispel the misconceptions that might be holding back your prosperity. Stay with me, because what comes next could completely transform how you view your finances. 3. Money and faith. What the Bible really says. Imagine a small child holding a balloon. They love it so much that they grip it tightly, afraid to let it go. But the tighter they squeeze, the greater the chance it will pop. This is how our relationship with money can feel when it becomes the center of our lives. We hold on to it out of fear of losing it, but in the end, it can slip away or even harm us. The question is, do we control money or do we allow it to control us? We often grow up hearing phrases like, "Money is the root of all evil." But did you know that this phrase is incomplete? The Bible actually says in 1 Timothy 6:10, "The love of money is the root of all evil." That makes a huge difference. The issue isn't money itself, but the place it occupies in our hearts. When we make money an idol, we place our trust in it, believing it to be the solution to all our problems, which ultimately distances us from God. Let me share a story about Emily. She was a hard-working woman who dreamed of giving her family the best of everything. Over time, however, she began to measure her worth by her bank account balance. The more she earned, the more insecure she felt, as though it was never enough. Then one day, she lost a major opportunity and realized she had been placing her happiness in something so unstable. That's when Emily understood that money, when used wisely, can be a blessing. It can help meet needs, bless others, and create a legacy, but it should never take the place of God in our hearts. From that moment on, her life began to change. Guided by biblical principles, Emily started seeing money as a tool, not a goal. Now, I want you to reflect on your relationship with money. Do you see it as a tool you control, or does it influence your choices and emotions? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story might inspire others who are wrestling with the same questions. Be honest and open as you write about the role money plays in your life. Speaking of this, have you noticed that Scripture is full of examples of people who successfully aligned wealth with their faith? In the next chapter, we'll dive into how financial education can serve as a bridge to lasting prosperity. Don't go anywhere, because this next secret will show you how to use the resources you already have to reach the next level. Let's continue. 4. Financial wisdom, a divine perspective. Have you ever wondered why some people, even those who earn a lot of money, still struggle financially? This happens because prosperity isn't just about how much you earn. It's about how you manage what you have. The Bible makes this clear when it teaches us that wisdom is more precious than gold, and this truth applies to how we handle our resources as well. Proverbs 4:7 says, "Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. And in all you're getting, get understanding." This principle highlights the importance of knowledge in managing what God has entrusted to us. Without wisdom and understanding, even the greatest fortunes can be lost. Financial education means learning to use resources wisely and in alignment with God's values. It's not about accumulating wealth recklessly, but about planning, investing, and using money as a tool to fulfill your divine purpose. This includes practical steps like creating a clear budget, saving consistently, and avoiding unnecessary debt. These simple actions help us live with greater peace and purpose. A lack of financial knowledge can lead to mistakes that disrupt our peace. The good news is that it's never too late to learn. Books, courses, and even videos like this one are tools that can transform your financial life. And remember, you don't have to navigate this journey alone. God is our guide and provides the right direction when we seek His wisdom. If this content is helping you view your relationship with money in a new light, I want to invite you to subscribe to this channel right now. Here, you'll find teachings rooted in God's Word to support you in building a more prosperous life, aligned with His divine purpose. By subscribing, you won't miss upcoming content that could be the missing piece in your transformation. Click that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's walk this journey of growth and faith together. Speaking of transformation, did you know that your mindset can be a key factor in achieving true prosperity? In the next section, we'll explore how thinking like a chosen entrepreneur can completely change the way you see opportunities and challenges. Don't go anywhere, because the next step is essential for your journey. Let's continue. 5. The mindset of a God-aligned entrepreneur. Imagine a bustling beehive full of bees. Each bee works tirelessly, but never alone. They follow a well-organized system, producing and storing honey with a clear purpose, to ensure the hive's survival during difficult times. Now, take a moment to reflect on your own life. Are you racing against the clock, working endlessly, or building something with a greater purpose like the bees do? This is the essence of an entrepreneurial mindset: creating, planning, and acting with intention, aligning everything with the purpose God has uniquely designed for you. Many people believe that entrepreneurship is only for those who want to start a business, but that's not true. Being an entrepreneur is a mindset. It's about finding creative solutions, seeing opportunities where others see problems, and using the talents God has given you to create something valuable. In Proverbs 6:6-8, Solomon teaches us to learn from the ant, which works without supervision, prepares for the future, and acts diligently. Let me share something fascinating. Paul, one of the greatest leaders in the Bible, was a tent maker. He used his skills to support himself while spreading the gospel. This shows how purposeful work and faith go hand in hand. When you see your work or talents as a way to glorify God, you become like Paul, a chosen entrepreneur who understands that life is about more than just paying bills. Now, I want you to reflect. What talent has God placed in your hands? Maybe you're good at teaching, creating something unique, or solving problems. Whatever your skill, it can be the starting point for something extraordinary. What seems small to you might be what God is preparing to turn into something great. I would love to hear from you. What is the special gift or talent you believe God has given you? Share it in the comments. When you put it into words, something amazing happens. You recognize the blessings God has already placed in your life, and you might inspire others to discover their own talents. Your story could be the spark someone else needs to take their first step toward the purpose God has for them. Speaking of this, did you know that many challenges can become the foundation for success? That is right. When seen from the right perspective, difficult moments can be transformed into incredible opportunities. In the next section, we will talk about how to turn crises into bridges toward prosperity. You will not want to miss this part, because it is where many success stories begin. Let's move forward together. 6. From challenges to prosperity, the bridge you build. Crises. Just hearing the word can make many people feel a tightening in their chest. Crises bring unexpected challenges, unwanted changes, and often a sense of helplessness. But did you know that, from God's perspective, crises are not the end? They can be the beginning of something extraordinary. What determines this isn't the crisis itself, but how you choose to respond to it. The Bible gives us a powerful example in Proverbs 24:10. If you falter in a time of trouble, how small is your strength? This verse reminds us that difficulties are not meant to destroy us, but to reveal our true strength and teach us lessons we wouldn't learn otherwise. God uses these situations as opportunities to shape our character and prepare us for what He has in store. Think of crises as bridges. They may seem fragile and intimidating, but they are the path that takes you to the other side, to a place of growth, learning, and new possibilities. The key is to face these situations with a mindset of overcoming, asking yourself, what does God want to teach me here? How can I use this challenge to grow? Crises push us to think outside the box. They compel us to find creative solutions and uncover opportunities where we once saw only problems. Often it's during a crisis that the most innovative ideas emerge, because we're driven to act differently. These moments draw us closer to God as we learn to depend on Him for guidance. With this renewed perspective, an important question arises. How do we turn the lessons learned during crises into practical actions for building a prosperous and lasting life? In the next section, we'll explore the key to making this happen: persistence and faith. These two elements can turn any adversity into a stepping stone towards success. So stay with me, because what comes next might be exactly what you need to move forward with unwavering strength. Let's keep going. 7. Faith and persistence, the formula for success. Picture a seed planted in the soil. For days, weeks, or even months, you water it, nurture it, but nothing seems to happen. It feels like all your effort is in vain. Yet beneath the surface, something incredible is taking place. Roots are growing, strengthening, and forming a solid foundation. Persistence works in the same way. You keep going even when you don't see immediate results, trusting that your dedication will be rewarded in due time. Let me tell you about Michael. He was an ordinary person with big dreams, but faced countless obstacles. It seemed like everything was going wrong. With each door that closed, he thought about giving up, but there was one thing he never abandoned: his faith. Michael believed that God was guiding every step, and that even in the difficulties, there was a greater purpose. Over time, his persistence transformed those challenges into victories, and today he lives a life full of purpose and fulfillment. Michael's story reflects a powerful biblical principle. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Galatians 6:9. This verse reminds us that success doesn't come to those who quit, but to those who keep moving forward, even when the path is tough. Persistence, however, isn't just about effort. It's about believing that God is with you, guiding every step. It's about knowing that even when everything seems still, He is working behind the scenes to fulfill His promises. Faith and persistence go hand in hand, like two sides of the same coin. Now let me ask you, what dream or goal are you fighting to achieve? What keeps you going even when things get difficult? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story might inspire others who are facing their own challenges. By writing it down, you are not just sharing, you are also strengthening your own resolve. Let's create a chain of encouragement right here in the comments. And if you think that effort and faith alone are enough, just wait until you see how practical actions can amplify both. In the next section, we will talk about simple yet powerful steps you can take to transform your financial reality and build prosperity aligned with God's purpose. Do not miss it. This next secret could be the missing piece to your puzzle. Let's move forward together. 8. A roadmap to building eternal wealth. Building eternal wealth doesn't happen by chance. Like any important project, it requires planning, dedication, and above all, alignment with divine principles. God provides the direction, but it's up to us to take the necessary steps to live according to His purpose. The first step is gaining clarity about your current situation. Take an honest look at your finances. How much do you earn? How much do you spend? Do you have an emergency fund? These numbers act as a map showing where you are and where you want to go. Without this clarity, it's easy to get lost or repeat the same mistakes. Next, it is time to create a plan. A simple budget can make a significant difference. Do not view it as something restrictive, but as a tool that empowers you to allocate your resources intentionally. And remember, saving, even small amounts, is a powerful habit. Having a financial reserve brings peace and ensures you are prepared for unexpected moments. Another crucial point is learning to invest. This isn't just about money, it's also about your time, talents, and energy. When you direct your resources towards something that reflects God's values, the impact goes far beyond the material. Additionally, gaining financial knowledge is a practical way to demonstrate wisdom. The more you understand how money works, the better equipped you are to make decisions that strengthen your journey. Finally, generosity is key. The Bible teaches us that those who are generous prosper because they give with a purpose-driven heart. When you share what you have, you are not just blessing others, you are planting seeds for lasting prosperity. Now that we've explored these practical steps to building eternal wealth, an important question arises. How does all of this connect to God's purpose for your life? In the next section, we'll discuss how to live as a true chosen one, applying these principles to your daily life. Stay with me, because what comes next is the key to turning everything we've learned into a life aligned with God's divine plan. Let's continue together. Embrace your calling as a chosen one. Now that you've made it this far, I hope something has shifted within you. Building eternal wealth is not just about money. It is about living a life that reflects purpose, wisdom, and alignment with God's plans. Being chosen means understanding that you have been called to something greater, to impact the world around you with the talents and resources God has placed in your hands. Think about everything we've explored together. We've learned the difference between temporary wealth and eternal wealth, the importance of Solomon's wisdom, how crises can be transformed into opportunities, and how persistence and faith are vital to achieving your goals. But the most important takeaway is this: every step you take on this journey is a demonstration of your trust in God's plan for your life. Now let me extend a special invitation to you. If this content brought you clarity, touched your heart, or helped you see things differently, subscribe to this channel. It is not just a click. It is a commitment to keep growing and transforming your life. And since shared knowledge is even more powerful, leave a like and share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. I'd love to hear from you. What resonated most with you in this video? Write it in the comments. Your experience could inspire others to take their first steps in building their own eternal wealth. Let's create a chain of encouragement and learning together. And it does not end here. On your screen, you will find a video that complements everything we have discussed today. It might be the next step you need to further strengthen your spiritual growth journey. Do not miss it. It could be the missing piece to your puzzle. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. May God continue to light your path. Never forget how special it is to be chosen. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care.